Yeah, a little bit more on the port series. We actually have a spreader bar that's on the ground. So this is what's hanging right there off of these. So these, if you saw the previous video I did on these, have these little locks, and that spins. You can kind of see that'll spin 90 degrees to lock into a notch to pick the containers up. You got your melty lights here. When you're going to pick up, that's unlocked. That means everything is locked. You can pick it up, and if these are flashing, that means it's locked, quote, but something isn't correct. So you usually unlock and relock, and that'll usually take care of it. There's your big fat connector. And yes, oh wow, this is missing one of the controllers. This, I believe, was in an accident, so it got removed. This is an automatic greaser. What this does is it's programmed every so many times. It'll squeeze out, and it just shoves grease through this manifold all over the place, which is great until they start leaking and you have like a basketball of grease somewhere. These yellow bits, that's what goes up against the container, so you pull up to it with that. And these arms here, if you look, you can see that it's not attached. So right now it's in 20-foot mode. These are 20 feet apart. But lots of sea containers are 40 feet. So at that spot, there's cylinders inside of this that push this arm out 10 feet, push that arm out 10 feet, and then you got your 40-foot spread on it. I've actually had to sit on top of these once at full height to troubleshoot some programming issues we had on one. But this is the spreader bar, as they call it. Okay, yeah, here's the what they call the 2040 cylinder. Here's the control for it, and it just rolls on in there for that side. There's an old chonker. But yeah, that's your basics on the spreader. That's a, what is that, slew? And there's actually more cylinders over here. Ah, fuck it, let's just walk over. So those pins there, and some pins on the back, and that support on the front, that all attaches to this over here. Like, there's an old mast. That one's bent up. Sorry, fingers keep getting in the way. There's a section of mast. There's some tilt cylinders. And this big old thing. So this is what that hangs off of. So you've seen the mast. You know how the mast has those channels? These rollers are what's in the mast. So this sits like that, and that spreader would normally be hanging underneath here to pick everything up. There would also be an additional computer that has probably been taken because it doesn't need to be here. But yeah, this is what that hangs off of, and this weighs approximately 30,000 pounds on its own. If I'm not mistaken, that's 20. So these are pretty ridiculously heavy, as it were. And there's more of that grease manifold I was telling you about that comes up here as well. That's what all these blue and red fittings are. So there you go. There's a chitty chat about all the big stuff. Oh yeah, and when they twisted this mast, what had happened was they were moving forward very fast, and then they slammed the brakes on and the whole truck fell forward. Because as you can imagine, Like if you're looking at that yellow one at the distance, there's a lot of weight on the front. And then when you put even more weight on the front, it gets stupid heavy. So, they've actually flipped 2 of these. One of them, they almost killed somebody because drivers just want to drive like buttheads. So there's that. There's a truck from last week's Monday video. Because I'm still down here. I'm just recording this on the same day. Oh, and here's that engine that you saw. Tommy actually pulled it out. And get a little bit more of a walk around on this beast. So all your fuel filters, there's your main computer. And actually, last week I said that's the front cover, that's the rear seal. My bad. And actually you can get a better look at all the weight that turbo is sitting on with no weight support. It's all on that manifold. So, alright. That's it, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out. I'll see you next week or Saturday or whatever. Later.